Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Crystal Morency. Good morning, Crystal. How are you today?
I am great, thank you. How about yourself, Dino? Hello, everybody. Welcome.
With this face, I'm always good. Yeah.
What do you got there? What's inside that?
So
That's not your Stardouche cup, so that means that this is a fresh Stardouche.
it's a fancy Stardouche. So what I like at Starbucks is called it's a Trenta size, which is ridiculously large, but it's a vanilla sweet cream cold brew. So I don't know what the difference is between iced coffee and cold brew. I have no idea. But this is a cold brew, whatever that means. Now, what they do is they take a vanilla, and she's just drinking Tim Hortons, fucking loser. What a goddamn
This is
peasant.
cool
She's a
kids
fucking peasant. She's probably got ginger ale in
we
there.
will
She's got
sponsor-
ginger ale in there or some shit too. Fucking.
I fucking do, but it's it's Canadian dry ginger ale.
Giggity, giggity.
We will sponsor you too.
So today though, the guy who was making it asked Victoria. She had gone to work. She was coming back. So there used to be a drink which was just what was it? Cold brew. It was iced cold brew with cold foam. And I don't know what the fuck cold foam is, to be honest with you, but it is a delicious. It's kind of like whipped cream, I think. That's what I'm assuming it is. I'm sure it's not good for me, but this guy.
But put in the fridge.
I don't know. I don't know these things. I've never been a barista. So, anyways, today he asked Victoria on the vanilla sweet cream cold brew if I wanted cold foam, and she remembered that I liked cold foam, and she was like, "Yes." He's like, "Cause that shit's awesome." And the funny thing is, so earlier today, I was watching Tom Segura's latest stand-up again, Ball Hog, and in it, he talks about an experience a guy had where the response from the sports player was, "Tell that motherfucker I appreciate him." And he's like, I try and incorporate that all the time just because it's so funny.
I love that.
It's such a great statement. So Victoria's like, yeah, so this guy mentioned that cold foam is really good, so to put it on top. And I'm like, I looked at her and I was like, "Tell that motherfucker I appreciate him." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "You tell that motherfucker I appreciate him." And she's like, "Okay." I'm like, I can't believe I was able to fit that in.
It'd be awesome if she does that.
She's like, "Hey,
it would be really good if she does
my
that.
husband wanted to tell you that she appreciates you, motherfucker." Just to watch people, you know what? That's the thing
like
is, there's certain levels of swearing that people like. If you call somebody a pussy, nobody cares. You call them a vagina, nobody cares. You call them a cunt, shit's going down, right?
Yeah, well, and there's different ways to use it.
Yeah.
Like, "You're a beautiful motherfucker, let me tell you." Like, something like that. Or like, "Oh, your fuck face is hot." No, that's not a good one.
But we should make it one. Hey, you got a hot fuck face.
You got a hot
I think you
fuck
got a
face.
hot fuck face. I think that's a compliment. I definitely think that's a compliment.
That a man will never ever receive. Because
Why
no
not?
man has a hot fuck face.
Nah.
Like, if you can love a man with his fuck face, you will love him forever.
Yeah, I don't think women see, this is the thing. I think women purposefully close their eyes because they know how ugly some men are. Like when we cry, when
Just
we
when you guys
jizz,
are like coming, it's like
yeah,
all
we're
of a
like,
sudden.
it's a horrible experience for everybody.
It's like, what is happening to you? Are you okay?
I don't know.
Like,
Probably
did you
not.
just get taken over by demons?
Technically, see, that's the difference though, is for a male orgasm, is like he's creating, like there's jizz on call, but then there's the whole factory is like, "We're up, boys.
It's life.
Round up the fucking machines. Let's get this thing making." So for a man, when he jizzes, he's like, he's like, "I am producing life." And it's like, he didn't really, right? But that's why it's just so taxing. There's a monk in Tibet who hasn't jizzed in like 60 years, and he looks super young. And he's like, "No, it's about tantric sex where you can orgasm without jizzing, and it's apparently better for your body." Which I'm like, I'm not really sure about that, but
I am up for the challenge.
No. You don't jizz.
I want to go to Tibet
You do not
and make
jizz.
this
That's
fucker
not
jizz.
that's not a fair thing. Women can just, you can ring that bell like 70 times and they're just like, I'm too tired. Why? From being happy? That is a bullshit excuse, okay? You should be happy that you were able to feel happy.
Tibet.
Anyways,
I'm going to Tibet.
I remember once that I did it. I had watched this documentary about the process and everything, and I was kind of like, interesting. That's very good. And I jerked off, no jizz, and I'm like, I don't feel exhausted. I was like, this guy might be onto something. Never be able to do it again. Never was able to do it again. But I have to admit,
Wasn't
there was
that
something
on American Pie? Didn't the guy that fucked Stifler's mom, didn't he like do something like that?
That's true.
Or where he couldn't.
Also true. Tantric sex.
that
It makes
it?
you last longer, and
Tantric
you can
sex.
go again very quickly because you didn't jizz. It's a very taxing process, you know?
Only if you have a small penis, though.
No, it's not.
Because if you have a big penis, then
That is false news, people. It doesn't matter how big your cock is. Jizzing is exhausting.
jizzing is yeah. That's why you guys always like fall asleep and stuff after.
We just made life. We're like, I got a whole factory working in my nuts.
Jizz
It's
is
ridiculous.
Very important. Cum is very important. That's why that one lady. I say you put it on your face. Use young fella jizz, like 18 plus, like 18 to 25-year-old.
That is
jizz,
bullshit.
And you put that all over your face.
Listen,
and you rub
let's
it
be
in,
honest.
and you stay young and fun and full of cum.
Yeah, that same lady who's using it as a face mask is also eating it to prevent coronavirus. So that's why dirty girls live forever. That's why.
That's fucking right.
That is a fact.
That's
Dirty
right.
ladies live forever. You know why? Because everybody likes them. No.
They're not dirty. They are tens.
It's a internal 10. That's what we like to call it. It's a maybe a orifice 10. I don't know. I'm just gonna
It's
say.
like if you're you get with a
it's
woman,
so dirty.
you get married a couple years down the road or so, you get hitched, and then all of a sudden she pulls out the fact that hey, she's a swallows, and you're like, ba-bing, that's your wife.
I'll be honest with you. If you have to be with somebody for a long time, get married, and then they swallow, she's cheating on you. I'm just gonna say that right now, okay? She is swallowing
that.
someone else's jizz, possibly professionally, behind your back. I'm just saying.
Why professionally?
Because that bitch.
Yeah, well, I guess if she's gonna do it, at least she might as well make some dollars.
I'm telling you, that shit was hidden from you, and there's a reason for it. I'm just.
Ew, but you wouldn't want to do that professionally.
Hey, I don't judge. People need to eat. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, but that's catching something. A professional woman wouldn't do that. She would do it in her private life, but she wouldn't do that.
Why do you have to slut shame people, Crystal? Why do you have to slut shame people?
I'm just saying. Slut shame. Like, I'm one to slut shame. Like, let's be real.
This is hands down one of the best conversations I've ever had about this, and I am on the side of right. This is the best. I couldn't pay for this kind of shit.
You always.
I know.
I've been watching our videos. I always watch our videos, and they just keep getting better, I must say. And thank you very much for our listeners and our subscribers.
Absolutely.
But I keep watching our videos, and Dino is such a pompous ass. You are not always right.
I'm always right.
You are not always right, God damn it.
Every fucking time. And you know what, guys? Just so you know, we're not just on YouTube. We are releasing clips on Facebook. We also have our fan page there. We have the Instagram page where we throw out funny memes and things of that nature. But we're also available on the audio side with just Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. And I just burped. But the point is that...
Not the first time.
Definitely not the first time. Won't be the last time. Probably not even for today. But the point is that people are starting to listen, guys, and we really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And please like, share, and subscribe. Let your friends know. Let your priest know. Let your... mistress know. Everybody should know about us just because we're just fantastic people that like to make fun of things. So I think those are all
The
good things.
listeners must really like us.
Well, they definitely like one of us.
Should we be worried?
They definitely like one of us.
Should we be worried? Though, like, are the people that can tolerate us the type of people that maybe have like voodoo dolls and basements with people tied up down inside of them.
I welcome your fandom. I welcome your fandom.
Me too. I'm just saying.
I'm okay with it. I've done worse for better people.
Okay.
That's fine. It's not. Yeah.
Me too. I've done better for worse people.
So, how have you? We didn't actually record yesterday because somebody was having one of those days. It's not true. Neither of us were having a good day. That was actually what it was. She was very busy, and I was just being a giddy, just a grumpy sourpuss. So that's a reason not to, because I'm not fun when I'm grumpy, because I just go.
Oh my god. Don't they know
being
this?
backed up with a lot of mozzarella cheese is not the same as being grumpy. Okay, that's being constipated, and that is a different type of anger because it's all embracing.
No, people that are full of shit are usually grumpy.
Yeah, but it's because they're full of shit. It's not the same thing, right? Because it's a backup where that hurts. It starts to hurt like right through your entire torso. That's the problem, right? Because you're just getting all this poop just crammed right in there. It's not fun. Whereas when you're just grumpy...
When George St. Pierre talks about it, it's way hotter than when you talk about it, I'm just saying.
Oh, thanks.
I heard George St. Pierre talk about this, and I was like, oh, really? Tell me more.
Isn't that nice? Isn't it nice when she's like, hey, fatty, can you stop talking about fat?
You ate 2 Panzerottis today. Thanks.
That's fat shaming. Fuck you, asshole.
I have to get myself going. I'm going on stage tonight, woo, which we guys will hear about.
I'm hiring a new co-host. Anyone that's interested, feel free to reach out. This one's turned into an asshole.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
I still remember how often, like, something would happen. And she's like, hey, I feel like I'm trying to contribute here. I think I'm worth it. And I'm like, I'm not firing you. I didn't even hire you. Like, just relax. And, like, it happens so often. I'm like, you need to calm down. Because her response, like, she's like, I think I add value. And I'm like, I agree, you do. What's with the rest of the shit? And she's like, well, I want to keep doing it. I'm like,
I am single.
Me too. No problem. Like, I don't, yeah.
This is why I'm single, Dino. I'm like, I give you good blowjobs. I cook, I clean, I work.
Hold on.
And everything.
Let's make sure. She's talking theoretically with someone and not
this is
me.
why I'm single.
I'm not.
With every man that I've been with, this is why I'm single, because I don't understand, and I always say, and it's like one of those people, and I am one of those people, and I have to teach myself, where you tell people how great you are, and then it's just not so great anymore to them.
It's funny that you would bring
It's like when a guy buys you flowers, and he tells you, oh, I spent this much on those flowers, and I bought them at this prestigious flower shop, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know what, the crackhead boyfriend that I had that used to go and pick me flowers randomly out of people's gardens, that was way more romantic.
And when he was running away from people's houses that he stole flowers from, he kept in shape. It's a twofer. Yeah. That's a twofer.
Oh, super tight. Super tight. The crack and the running, tight.
Yeah, that's bad advice, guys. That is not.
A lot of sunlight, because he didn't really have a place to stay, so he was out in the sun a lot. So he was nice and tanned and bronzed, and he like glistened, because he was sweating from the crack. Yeah,
so
fun times.
If you're really looking for love, people, be homeless and smoke crack. Apparently, that is the message for today.
No, not anymore, because now I'm, it was a short time period. I was lonely.
Okay, so...
I didn't really need the items that I owned, so figured, let's take some chances.
And now we're here. 15 minutes in.
And now we're here, though. Look, and I have items.
She has items.
I have stuff. I have stuff. No more crack boyfriends.
So.
You can't forever penis those kind of fellas.
That's true. That is true. Actually, so, okay. I actually want to talk about something specific yesterday, and I kind of forgot, and then it got rehashed today. So to start, we are working on a fan of the show and a close friend. He actually is talking to guys that make shirts. I said, number one, I need a new shirt guy, and number two, we're always looking for sponsorship as well. And he's like, don't worry, I was already going to talk to them, so I'm waiting for them to contact me, so that's something. That's always awesome. And
so
Crystal has frozen. Okay, I'm going to keep on talking. So,
Dino feels like this.
the other thing was
That's awesome.
a close friend. He does a show locally in Toronto
He says it I phrase, but it's
that I
really
don't
him.
think is opened up yet, but will be
'Cause
open up soon.
I'm still moving on
He's
my
working
little
on
scene
cards
picture.
for us.
So
I
does
got to
that
still
mean
meet
that
with him
I'm
and
not
discuss some
frozen?
options.
I think
But
it's him.
for him,
Hey,
that's
guys.
Eric
Hi, guys.
de Beaumarchais.
I know
who,
he's talking,
There we go.
so-
There.
Ah, see, there he goes. Hi.
So I'm just gonna keep on talking. So
I know, that's
Eric de
right.
Beaumarchais, he has actually helped with a few things, and he's going to be helping us design
you.
our cards. So he's somebody I want to shout out as well, just because that's going to be happening very soon. And because I'm trying to figure out what we want on the cards, because I don't want to do 500 cards and then give out 100 and be like, shit, I want a different one, you know? So, but yeah, we got to still talk about all that kind of fun stuff. It's very exciting, people. Things are happening. Now, what did get rehashed the other day was... I don't know why you're grumpy-faced.
Do you see that? Do you see this face of disappointment and shame and humiliation and sadness?
No, I see somebody who needs to take a shit. That's what I really see.
Actually, I went regular. No, it's because you're like, oh, you know, the cards, creative. We have to be creative, think of something. I don't know. You happen to might have a person on your team that's already pretty creative and pretty crafty that you haven't asked to maybe put in some tailing. And then I'm not still bent about the fact that he said that we're gonna need a start off. Like, you know, he said something, you know, fun, cartoony, you know, a little bit of music to start us off. Yeah, wouldn't be somebody would be able to create something like that.
Hold on. No.
Just
Let's have that
saying.
conversation there, fuckhead. Okay, let's have that conversation. Listen, because I was like, hey, somebody brought this up. What do you think?
Doesn't ask the girl
Oh, no,
that's
no.
good at this
The
stuff.
girl didn't ask if
happens
she
to be
could
his
do
co-host.
it. No. I said, hey, what do you think about
She
that?
just sent him this video and everything,
Hey.
just trying to say, hey, look, I'm skilled. Look.
Hey, hold on. No.
qualified.
Hey, no.
Look.
That's fine. So...
And then he
I
tells
said-
everybody he needs somebody.
No, that's not what I said. Eric de Beaumarchais is working on cards specifically for us. And now I brought it up to this is you know what, guys? This is a lesson in communication. That some people will always be a jackass, okay? That's this one right here. She's the jackass. I'll tell you why. I said, hey, someone mentioned doing like a little animated thing or something at the beginning, like just a couple seconds, like you know, that we've seen on other podcasts. And she's like, yeah, that sounds really cool. I'm like, I think we should give it a try. Like, let's try and develop something. And she's like, yeah, I think that'd be great.
That's,
And that's
not
all she said.
how my
That's
words were
all she
over
said.
text message.
All she said. She didn't say,
Yep.
can I take a try at it? She didn't say, hey, and you know what?
Oh, because
hey, I haven't
the
asked
video
anyone for it.
that she
Hey,
made isn't even on the channel, so there. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go
I
there.
didn't. I shared it on the Facebook page, though, didn't I? It's on the Facebook.
No. No, it's
Oh,
not.
sorry. It should be
No,
on the Facebook page.
it's
I'll put it
not.
on there today. That's fine. I wouldn't put it on the channel because it's not one of the shows. That's I wouldn't do. That's not going to happen.
Anyways, let's talk about something else.
if you want to do something, all you have to do is ask people. There's no harm in asking. I haven't asked anyone else. So our editor, who is capable to do that, I'm not asking him. Because I knew,
That's not the editor, it was somebody
I
else.
knew this was going to come. And she's like, why didn't you ask me to do it? Why didn't you ask to do it? Boom! How about that? You're a liberated woman.
Oh, the guy that comes from, I'm not going to go to a talent agency.
right.
They should come to
That's
me.
right.
If they see my talent
Yeah.
and they appreciate my talent, they should come to me. Well,
right.
this girl has talent who's showed it to you, who's given you basically a portfolio of it, and he just...
Watch this.
Oh, well,
Watch
we're going to
this.
have somebody...
Watch this. Maybe if you showed some initiative, I would have appreciated it. Boom!
Oh, I hope to God you're allowed out of the house today.
You know what the best part about that was? It's complete bullshit. It was just a miscommunication. I wanted her to do it, and I didn't say anything, but she didn't offer. I know she's been busy, so I said, you know what, I'll bring it up later. It didn't matter. But the best part is that I can have this conversation with you, with her, on camera, and it's so fucking gratifying, because she can't go, you know what, fuck you! Why don't you get the fuck out? She can't react like some other woman. You know what, you're not going to be on my show, or anything like that. She just has to stand there going, fuck you, fat boy. And I can go, because it's very funny. I would like you to do that, actually. That's what I was hoping for you to do. But, like, realistically, no. I totally did. Why do you think I brought it up to you? Why would I bring it up to you and then say, I'm going to go get that done somewhere else?
I thought you were just being that ignorant. I just thought you were being that ignorant. And that's why I'm like, and I put sarcastically, yeah, it's great. Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds like a good
I'm pretty
plan.
sure we released an episode the other day that said, texting has no context. Just... This is great. Yeah, no, I definitely
love us.
I definitely.
They love us. They love the fact
you know what?
that we were fighting on today's episode pretty good too.
And people fucking love it. You know why? Because it's fucking. You know what? It's not easy.
Yeah,
it's not easy to be associates, co-workers, let alone being friends, being friendly. Those are hard things. And you know what? Just fucking have it out. It's fine. And this was.
Yeah,
it came back to one of the things. What I was gonna say was how we've brought her up a few times.
Every time.
That's also true. I will win every time. Okay? But I recognize...
And I'll still come back and take it.
Listen. I appreciate you, motherfucker. Don't worry, okay?
I know that.
No, so listen.
I love it.
But this is the thing is, and
That's
so
awesome.
I was
That
talking
was
with a
great
friend.
timing for that.
It was great times. I was like, I can do it again. I can do it again. Yeah, I felt so great. And that was the other thing. So I have a lot of friends that will come to me with real problems because I look like I should have a monocle or something like that. Like that's the face that I have. I look like an old weathered wise man, which I love. Don't get me wrong. But I will have friends because I will talk freely about mental health and various subjects that a lot of people don't. And so a lot of friends will reach out to me, and I happily will talk them through a situation or just discuss a situation to see, if I can be of assistance. Because I'm not a professional, I'm just a fucking comic. But a friend reached out, and I had the most rewarding the most rewarding part about it was that he said something essentially, how. And this is a fact with a lot of times with self-doubt, depression, and various other things that go through your mind, is you always try and poke holes in someone's solution. Because what it does is it validates your feeling not okay. And that's a catch for ourselves too, is that it is okay to not feel okay, but that doesn't make it correct, right? So it's like you have to validate how not feeling okay with being willing to feel okay, right? And this was the thing, was they came at me with all these what can be viewed as negative body image things, and essentially I turned them all around. It's like, you say you're small, I say you're easy to accommodate in a tight fit. You say you're short, I say you don't have to bend when you're going downstairs. There's all these various ways you can approach things, and what I
do it to you all the time.
Absolutely.
I'm like, your bigness is royalty.
And what I say, you're welcome. You're welcome. Right? And that's the thing is, I do suffer from various levels of depression, just having dealt with my father and various other things that I've had in my life. They have been hard to deal with, right? And so I won't say that I'm some sort of expert, but I've been in therapy before and tried to help me through. And you know what? And it's something that ponders my mind and it affects my daily life. I'll be the first one to admit that. There are times I don't want to get about it all fucking day. And you know what? That's okay. You're not evil or wrong to feel that way. What can make you evil is when you're unwilling to get help. That is not okay, right? Yeah. And part of that whole battle is being able to recognize that you need help, which is the first thing, right? It's the first thing of all.
You could recognize that you need help and keep it to your damn self.
Also true.
Because others are more fucked up than you.
Also true. Also true.
And then you just bury it deep down in there.
And that's one of the big things.
And go get tattoos in inappropriate places and have crack boyfriends. So you keep that shit deep down there.
And that's the other thing is, just because someone is worse doesn't devalue how you feel. Right? Somebody could be in a worse situation.
No, it's never.
They're not comparable.
Not at all.
They have nothing to do with that.
Nope.
And that's...
No, and never think that you can't approach somebody because you think that they've had it worse, or that person, you know, they just been through it. They're gonna look at me and not think that I'm having a hard time or whatever. Everybody deals with life in their own manner. So what could be a big deal to one person could be not seem like a big deal to another person, but that doesn't make it any less of a deal in general. Yeah. Like, so just think that, you know, everybody needs their moment, no matter what it is, because you might not understand it, and you're not supposed to, because you're not going through it. And at least you can just understand that they're going through something.
Now, and this was the real success I felt, because I really I think that I may have helped, was that.
Yeah, what do you say?
Well, and I said it, and I was like, you can't poke holes in that shit, and then he was like. He goes, I don't want to sound weird or anything, but that was the best response I've ever gotten to that question. I was like, I was kind of proud of myself, honestly. I was just really impressed because it came out of nowhere.
Okay, well, tell us.
So what I said was this. He said, and his response was, because I kept on putting a positive spin on little things, like, why does why, one of them was like, why does this person love this guy that she's with? When he's a piece of shit to her, he treats her badly and all that kind of stuff. He's like, shouldn't I have something good, right? Like that was the gist of it, not obviously to expose anyone else's business or anything like that, but that was the general idea of why things were happening and everything. And he said, and his statement is very, very valid, was that people, a hungry person deserves to eat, okay? But people starve every day. And that's valid. It's very valid. And this is, and what I responded, I'm going to try and quote myself here, but I don't have it up, and I should have written it down because it was actually pretty good, was, I said, a hungry person is given the opportunity to hunt, not a handout. The same way...
You teach a man to fish, but you...
Let me finish the fucking thing, you asshole!
Okay!
In the same way that someone who's drowning had an opportunity to learn how to swim, or an opportunity to grab a life jacket. Right? So, and I was honestly proud of myself, because that, to me, that makes sense, is that, listen, there's nothing wrong with needing help. Nothing. There's nothing wrong with getting help if that's government assistance or something like that. Again, nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong if you are in a mental state that you cannot function in a regular situation, so you are helped. There is nothing wrong with that. What there is something wrong with is if you just completely ignore it and say, let's see how this goes. That's not okay. Now, that's not to say that that's an easy thing, to acknowledge what is affecting you and that it needs attention. That's not easy either, okay? And that's why it's various stages of this process that is very difficult for everyone to go through. And my point is this, is that we don't know what's happening tomorrow. We don't know what's gonna transpire. That doesn't make us any sort of victim to what's happening. It makes us a party to the situation. And when I say that, I mean, like, yes, we may be involved in a situation where you're going, this is not my problem, and I do not know what the fuck is going on. That's okay. But in turn, to just stand there and say, everyone should just cater to my now you go fuck yourself. That's not going to happen. It's just not. Because you know what? Everyone, and I can't stress this enough, everyone has their own fucking problems. Whether they're big or small, doesn't fucking matter. And I'll, right out there, my problems matter to me more than anything that's happening in your fucking life. You know why? Because it doesn't affect me. It's very cut and dry. And this is why people are misrepresenting that idea on such a grand scale right now. Where, listen, there are horrible things that are happening. Let's deal with it. Fair. That does not validate anything, like anything that you just say, well, that's kind of attached to it, so it should make it okay. No. I'm sorry. I don't, and that's like, I'm not perfect. I'm the size of two fucking people. I'm going bald, not fully bald. Fuck you. Okay? But the point is that it's, and then in her screen, she's like, Look at my purple hair. I have it redyed extra purple to resonate with the purple world. But you know what I mean?
Extra purple.
Extra purple. Listen.
Oh, goodness. I had to. I went fishing, and I recorded myself, and I looked at the first,
What?
and they like, my camera, I held it up here,
She's
and
saying something
you could see the
similar.
back of my head, because I went to go turn to look at the water, and it was bleach, blonde, weird, gross craziness. So I had to put the more purple in. Because I am on stage tonight, and Dino's frozen, so he's going to be bitching about this. I'm going to show you on my microphone. I got a new microphone. I'll bring it up, I guess, when he pops back up.
Wait for it.
He's just sitting there all grumpy looking. I bet he's grumpy because it's frozen. Like this. I wish you guys could see his
Come
frozen
back.
face when he does it. The last one was better. It was like this. I just wait for him to come back because I know he's probably talking to you guys right now. So we're going to be talking over each other in the video. Oh, no, he left me. I don't know where he went.
There we go.
Oh, he's coming back. There he is.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's cool.
You were saying your piece, I'm assuming. Yes? You were talking the whole time?
I was just saying stuff. I was talking about, I said that showed my microphone. And I was like,
So not
well,
on
talk about my
topic.
microphone.
Not on topic at all. That's exactly what... This has been the greatest segue brought to you by Dino the Genetic Marvel and Crystal Morency. Yeah, I talked with Victoria, and she is not very open to the idea of me going out.
Oh.
Specifically because you're going to be there. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No. No, I just said I wanted to go support the show, because if I go support the show, then there's a better possibility that I may be able to go get a spot in September. Because right now the agreement Victoria and I have is till the end of August. The end of August, we'll reevaluate what's going on, because the fact is that the death rates are going down, even though the cases are going up. So, and the fact is her parents are immunocompromised. I'm fat as fuck and I smoke, so I'm not in a great situation to go through something like that. Mind you, I have seen some pictures of people losing weight being on a ventilator. Can't say I'm not excited. I'm kind of going...
Ventilators also don't help.
What?
Because ventilators actually really don't
But they
help,
get you
because
thin.
they stop your lungs from they stop your lungs though and stuff from having to work on their own, so they just kind of give up and don't work.
I'm thinking more the weight loss is going to be worth it. I think,
guess so,
listen,
yeah.
30 days
It will be.
on a ventilator for me, I'm like, I'll come out there looking hot as fuck.
Just go on Craigslist and get yourself some chotch for like some drugs, and then within like a couple weeks you'll have lost like 100 pounds.
I'll be honest with you. The slang people use for certain drugs is very, very revealing. Like, chotch is not a great word.
Well, I wasn't trying to sugarcoat it. Go get yourself some Coke, and then go.
Number one, why would I go to Craigslist? I got a guy.
I just don't know anybody.
But more so, yeah, like Craigslist. Ew.
I haven't been
That's
looking.
like-
I haven't been looking for.
You get some chotch with a side of herpes. That's what that is. This is fucking horrible. You do not.
No, you just
do
go
not
on
get
and you
your-
ask one of the working.
What?
You just go on. You ask one of the working girls on there if she can hook you up. Whoops.
I'll tell you,
ever wanna buy-
not one of those suggestions was good. Talk to a working girl. That's not good. Then ask her if she
Or
can
just
get
go to
some
a strip
drugs.
club and ask a stripper.
Again, not good.
Just go ask a stripper.
No,
like-
I don't like my vices to cross-pollinate. I'm not a fan of that. I am at a strip joint to see
Yeah, but those
titties
girls have the cash. They have to not love themselves, and they have to stay up late. So guess who has the best chotch? Strippers.
Nah, I'm more of a trust guy. Is when I know that I'm not getting, like, the big thing is, like, and there was a big concern with
Nowadays, then don't, because of all the fentanyl and shit
That's
like
why
that.
it's very
Next
sketchy.
thing you know, you'll wind up like. Ugh,
I have to admit,
painted like
I
Big
would like
Bird.
to try, but what are you gonna do? I don't know. My cat is meowing in the background. Oh, fucking dick.
All 9 of them.
I do not have 9 cats. Fuck that. Victoria is right now trying to convince me to get another cat. I'm like, no, absolutely not. And
Oh my god.
I would lose my mind. I can't. This one's a dick anyway. I can't. I don't want any more.
They all are dicks. They will all eat you.
Yeah, I know.
Cleopatra was trying to tell us, and we didn't listen. You know why she did the cat eyes? You know why? It wasn't because it looked cool. It was because they were ruling her, and she thought that she would try to blend in.
I'm pretty sure Cleopatra was one sketchy bitch. I'm just going to say that right now. She is one sketchy lady. Did you know that Cleopatra's life is closer to now than it is to when the
Yes, I know.
pyramids were built?
You told us this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I
didn't mean to double up on knowledge. Fucking.
I
what
didn't mean
an
to
asshole.
pay attention to you. What an asshole.
How dare you think
Next
your
time I'll
teachings are
pretend
being
like
taught?
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, no. So I was. You know what? And when I responded to
So
to
you're
go
not
back to
coming.
that thing, when they said that it was a good response, I was like, you know what? I'm so happy that he's like, I got to think of that. That's a good. I got to unpack that, and I was just like, I was so elated just that I maybe have helped my friend. I was like, honestly, I'm like high as a kite right now. I'm like, I can't. This is better than applause. This is so good. Like, but that's you know what, and that's why it's like, I feel like is so many people just we all want to feel original, you know, and I get it. Like, it's not.
But yet we die to be equal.
Well, no, it's not even that.
We want to fit in.
I'm gonna die much better than everyone. That's hands down. I'm going to. Somebody asked. I was on a podcast. I think probably about a year ago, and one of the things that the guy did was he said, "How would you like to die?" That was the final question, and I was like, "Battle." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Battle." I'm like, "I want to go down in a blaze of glory." I'm like, fighting. I'm like, bring on. I'm like, you know what I picture in my head as my end is the opening scene to Gladiator where they're in and they're fighting the German barbarians. And it's like one guy with like a sledgehammer swinging it around, taking on like an entire army of Roman centurions. I'm like, yeah, that's how I want to go. Definitely how I want to go.
That's how you want to go.
I want, literally, and considering we're like coming up to World War III right now.
Are you going to be put in a cemetery? Do you want to be put? I don't want to be put in a cemetery. I've had a lot of deaths happen lately, and I've been to a lot of cemeteries, and I'm such a loner. I don't want to be buried with all these people. I'm like, I don't want to be put there.
So guys,
I don't want to spend eternity with all these bodies. I want to be put in the woods. I think I'm just going to go by myself in the forest when I know it's close and where the trees open up and the sun shines down, and I'm going to go put a bunch of pretty flowers all around me and wear something really pretty and then light myself on fire. Right when I know I'm gonna go. So that way I get cremated right there all by myself.
You are
playing free
You are
bird.
hands down the most selfish person I've ever met in my life. It's like, I want the whole world to watch me in my last moments while I
don't
get
want
celebrated
them to. I
with
wanna
a
be
ring
alone.
of flowers and fire, and
I wanna be
all will
alone.
bow to my death.
I don't want anybody there. I don't want anybody
Who's
there.
gonna
so I
light the
wanna be
fire?
alone. I'm gonna.
That sounds like a shitty way to go. I'll tell you that much. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do?
I just don't
As
want
my
people to
last,
cry and
my
stuff.
last act of a person, burn myself. That's a shit way to go.
No, if you know that you're dying already and you don't want anybody else to be sad and hear. And
I'll be honest with you.
know,
I'm quite surprised. I really thought you'd be a Thelma and Louise kind of girl.
drive off
Right
the
off
cliff.
the fucking cliff with like 50 cop cars following you and just back. Ba-ba, woo!
That's probably how I am gonna die. I just said how I'd prefer.
That's fair. I can appreciate that I had some sort of sense of what might happen, but you're just not wanting it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fair. That's a fair. I think we both
That's
win.
come close. I was just faster.
Fuck me, Crystal. Holy
Knock
shit.
on wood.
That is.
Knock on wood.
Fuck, that is terrifying. No, see,
No, not
I have
that
it. Oh yeah, here, I'm knocking on everything. There's
Thank you.
all sorts of things around here. I'm really happy with this cold foam. I'll be honest with you. I appreciate this motherfucker. I appreciate you.
Cold foam, vanilla bean.
So when I first got cold foam,
fucking.
when I first got the cold foam drink the first time,
Cold cum.
no, it's not. It's not jizz. It's definitely not jizz. Anyways.
Yeah. The guy stands inside the fridge. He jerks off, and then it's cold.
Why do you have to ruin things? You selfish harpy.
I really am.
Anyways.
I guess.
So when I got it, I started doing a Cartman impression of the cold foam. It's like, I love cold foam. So Victoria's like, hey, I got you cold foam. I'm like, cold foam. And I was lying, just so you can see, okay, it's about 20 feet that way would be where the head of my bed is. And the entranceway is about, say, 8 feet this way. So she comes down the stairs and she's like, hey, they added cold foam. And from there, I'm like, cold foam. And she's like, I know you like cold foam. I'm like, I love cold foam. It's delicious.
Get me some cold foam. I just sound creepy.
You ate some cold foam and it's delicious. Okay?
Oh my god. If they want to bring South Park live, I think you should play Cartman as like an old man Cartman.
I'll be honest with you, I know that was intended as a compliment, but it's not really. It's not really a compliment. It's like, you would look like a great weird sounding fat guy, like, but you'd have to be much older than everyone else. So, but still, it'd be great. It's like, I
can play Butters. I'll play your Butters. Because Butters and Cartman are buddies. Right?
Oh yeah, Butters is the fancy one. No, Timmy. Timmy's.
Timmy.
I think Timmy's awesome. I just love. Oh, I forgot to tell you this the other day. I was like, well, it is a butt for. And Victoria's like, what's a butt for? I'm like, for pooping, silly. She's like, she's like, you're a fucking idiot. I'm like, I've waited so long to be able to get somebody like that. Especially like, what the worst was is after something like that happens in a movie, people will start saying it a lot, all the time. It's no longer funny. So you have to wait a certain period of time unexpectedly to really get somebody with it. I'm like, for pooping, silly.
It goes for everything in life.
It really does.
If you really want to get somebody, you just wait it out. If you do it too soon, then they'll know it's you.
If you're lucky enough.
But don't worry, you'll come for them.
If you're lucky enough, you'll get to wait with them. Confirm. Delicious.
With them, confirm. Oh my god, you should do a commercial for Starbucks.
My name is Dino, the generic mama, and I love confirm.
I'm Lord Dino, and wear your like big cape and your like your royalty cape with the shark's teeth on it and stuff. Do you think those were shark's teeth, or do you think that they were dragon's teeth because they used to slay dragons?
Well, so there's a lot of information in regards to
dinosaurs.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? So dragons, a lot of people. There's actually a documentary on like the science behind it, like how a dragon could have actually existed. See, told you, I burped again. No. And she keeps on yawning, like right in my face. Like my camera for her is like really close, and she's like, at least you're covering your mouth. I gotta appreciate that.
So early this morning. I have manners. I don't eat with my elbows on the table.
I do. That's how you get in there and make sure nobody touches you. Yeah, I've been there. That's why, like, when you wake up early and you didn't mean to, and you're like, fuck my life.
No, I had to. I had family coming in from Windsor, so I had to, like...
It's even worse.
Clean up and put myself together and everything, and then, for a whole, like, quick visit. But,
yeah. No. Hey, and you know what? It is. It's worth it. And you know what?
I woke up at 5:30 in the morning for about a 45-minute visit, but that's cool. Love you guys.
So, interestingly enough, if she had used her time more effectively earlier on in the week, I'm sure it would have been easier for her not to have to wake up. Yes! I always win, I appreciate you, motherfuckers. She's so mad right now, but she's like, it was funny, you rat bastard. It's the perfect score, baby. She's mad, can't be mad.
I had a boyfriend like that. I had a boyfriend like that one time, and he used to tell me, oh, you're in the mood, aren't you? And he would be in the mood, and then he would tell me, oh, you want to eat Chinese food, don't you? And he would want to eat Chinese food. And Dino would say, oh, you're mad, aren't you? Or she's mad, isn't she? I wasn't mad.
She was mad. This size sees everything.
That's his fake one. That's that AI eye that we talked about.
I would totally. Would you ever get one? I would totally. If I get an eye that could like, if it could like zoom in and shit like that.
I don't like what I see with these fucked up eyes. I don't want to see more than what I see.
If I could get like an X-ray or laser eye or like super zoom, I would say super zoom and maybe like infrared. I'm in. Hands down, no questions asked.
If you could read other people's thoughts, because they had this thing, I think Elon Musk was talking about it, where like you could totally like read people's, you'll know what people are thinking, and type thing. Would you want to do that?
Nobody.
You know what? Don't.
Can you imagine? Let's put a scenario out there. Okay? You're having sex. You read that person's mind accidentally, and their thing is, this fucking loser, I can't believe I let him see me naked. You're not going to recover from that. You're going not only limp instantly, murderous rage instantly. That's what's going to happen.
It's really bad. You know what, though? You don't want to know, because there's some things. Over the past few years, I've had to really learn and teach myself how to pay attention completely to people. Like, you have to really read them. You have to really listen and get to know them and kind of read their body language. Get to know people on like a basis more than what they think they're showing you.
Sorry.
Right?
You said body language, and I had to do like, oh, my body language. Yeah, go on.
So, and when I got to do this, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was kind of let down and kind of super disappointed. Like, you kind of wanted... It just, sometimes you don't really want to see those sides. You kind of like the image that you had in your head, as unhealthy as whatever as it could be, but sometimes it ruins it for you. And then you're left like, well, it's hard. It's just hard. Because you know, so it's sometimes I wouldn't want to know. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't want to know. I don't.
You
like,
can't.
I don't even like knowing. That's why I don't like going through people's cell phones and stuff. Girls are all crazy. They go through. Like, I'd rather not. I'd rather not know. Like, if a boyfriend's gonna cheat on me, at least do it with like a woman from another town. She better be hotter than me, because I don't understand why guys cheat with uglier girls. And like,
usually butt
and
stuff.
please, I don't want to know about it. I don't want. Yeah, probably. Because cocaine and moonshine can get pricey. So you might as well do it with somebody that's willing to do it.
It's not even that. You know what? No, you have a huge point here, and I want to make sure it's being made, is that ultimately, if someone's going to cheat, let them go. Honest, like that. I cannot stress that enough. If someone is with you and you worry about them cheating, just get out. Nope.
And make sure it's not you, though, from other relationships and stuff, because sometimes
that's
it's
possible.
hard
True.
to, like,
that's absolutely possible.
You know,
but you can't.
You don't want to assume that somebody's cheating on you. You want to assume that, like, you know, that you're good enough for them.
But it's not even
that they don't need to.
It's not even that. This goes so honestly. I might even title this entire episode just motivation, because it's really important stuff that we're talking about, in my opinion. And well, I'm in charge of what gets edited. So so, but like, this is the thing: is knowing you have value. We've talked about it before. Is just being able to perceive the value you bring to the table is a huge importance just to your natural existence. That's what I'm going to call it. It's just your being in the universe requires a certain amount of self-awareness, and we had discussed. Actually, like a month ago when we first started, how surprising it was that the whole conversation we were having around things was that it was people were worried about their next paycheck, where it was coming from, and that they were one paycheck away from losing their homes. Okay? Now, that being said, what we really saw, what actually transpired, was people were 3 weeks of being quarantined into losing their fucking minds. 3 weeks. It took 3 weeks, and we saw domestic disturbances, abuse, suicides, drug use to the point of overdose, all these things that are directly linked to mental health issues, okay? 100% those are all linked to mental health. All of those skyrocketed. And we're not talking about people, oh, well, they were homeless and they do drugs. No. That wasn't them. Just regular fucking people.
Your friend Penny down the street.
Yeah. Who you found out is fucking into smack up to her eyeballs, and just because she can't function anymore. Yeah, you know what, guys? We have a huge fucking issue going on right now, and no one is talking about it, and I think it's a huge thing that we have to talk about, because this is what's happening is we're losing complete control of every aspect of our existence, and it's brutal, and it's terrifying, and a lot of the times we're feeling like we just do not have our hands on the steering wheel, period. And a lot of the times we're being told it's because of this reason, and the media jumps in and says, no, it's this reason, and this is where it's happening. There was somebody, it was a governor in the south of the United States, one of the southern states, that said that they want to abolish history classes in schools because they promote white privilege and racism. And now watch this. Guess what? He's not wrong. The history books that are used in certain schools promote white privilege and racism. But think about what he said. Was instead of actually putting in stricter or changing the way things are taught and what's being taught and how we can actually help people grow, he said, you know what? We just don't need history anymore. What the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck does it even mean?
How about that was show us our growth, though? Wouldn't that show people the growth?
You know what?
Like, if they see that in history and see how ways were, they can see, wow, look at the growth. Look at how far we've come. Women, how about, everybody keeps saying race. What about women? And, like, I am not a feminist at all. I'm very grateful that we have Nice and Easy and Spanx and CoverGirl, and I'm cool with it. Like, you know, but women in general, we don't have that much privilege. Like, we're not privileged. And like, you know, in general, we could just started voting. In general, we just started we're slaves still. Like, okay, I'm not making that reference. But we're like, I'm just saying, like, it's just women are still trying to fight the battle of equality.
Hugely.
And now we're trying to break it off into huge extra pieces. It's like everybody just wants to fight a fight in order to be heard, but just be. Why can't we just live? Why does everything have to be so controversial? Everything has to be so questioned. It starts off questioning religion. It starts off questioning your creation. It starts off questioning where'd you come from. Some things in life aren't meant to fucking question. They're just meant to live. And living is not spending all your time in doubt.
Yeah. Listen, and you know what? And that's a great point. And actually, it brings us to that normal time that we do the motivation. So I'm going to do that, and it's going to be all encompassing with this stuff, because you're absolutely right in what you're saying. Is that, we'll just start it off. So the motivation for today is, if you can't question the information you're told, it's probably false. Okay, and what I mean by that is that if there's a lesson in school, and you're not permitted to ask questions about the authenticity of the information, that's probably information you were given is wrong. Okay? When someone says, well, you have to do XYZ, and you say, why? And they say, you can't ask questions. I wouldn't do that. I won't do what they've asked me. And I'll tell you why. It's because 9 times out of 10, we'll see that people will throw you under the bus randomly just so the bus will stop. It's not even a good reason. We're seeing on a record basis that things are completely out of fucking whack right now. They are harsh, they are difficult, and we are showing that we are not up to the task either. We have been eating dog shit, and we've been doing it with a smile and being told to say thank you for the dog shit. And we go, thank you. Thank you. I'm happy that we're talking about stuff. And I'm happy that we should be acknowledging the progress that has been made. I think the other thing that we should be happy that we're acknowledging is that we still have a ways to go.
Yeah.
We're on a precipice that only crazy people go through. And we're going through it as a planet. As a planet, we're seeing that we're all looking into this precipice going, wait, I thought that only crazy people. Oh, we're all acting like we're batshit crazy, because guess what, guys? We have all been in the same battle within ourselves this whole time. And we've been misdiagnosed to think that this was okay. It's not. It's not okay. Even if you have a mild twitch, okay, get help. Doesn't affect anything. Maybe just your self-confidence. Okay, get it fixed. It's not a lighter thing. It's for you. It's important to you. That makes it important. That's okay. Everything, if you see an issue with it, you should try and address it. Some things you'll be victorious. Some things you won't. Some things take more time. All of those things are okay. We are all fighting this fight. And the fact is that we ain't going to get out alive. We're all going to pass away at some point. Except for me, I live forever. That is a fact. Okay? But after all is said and done, we have to fight for our own value, our own worth of what we're bringing to the table. As minuscule as it may be in our minds, it's still something of value. And something of value can be exchanged, it can be offered as a gift, it can be held as a prize. All of them valid, and all of them are okay. We need to get out of our own way in thinking that there's something wrong with us. No, there's something wrong with all of us. Every last one of us has something wrong with us. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small. Doesn't make it a different thing. All it means is there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with talking about with our friends. There's nothing wrong in acknowledging it. What is wrong is when we refuse to acknowledge it. When we refuse to take that extra step. Okay? We all have our problems. We all have dependencies, vices, difficulties, mental blocks. All those things are valid. And all of them have their treatment, and all of them require a unique touch that is perfectly adapted to ourselves. But if we can't figure out a way to love ourselves, to be happy and think that we offer something to this world, how can we expect somebody else to love us unconditionally? How can we stand there and say, well, I deserve, you couldn't even give it to yourself. Why should others be giving it to you? Be able to stand up with your head held high and say, I'm bringing something different to the table. There are relatives of mine. They have the exact same name as me. Same name. Exactly. They're not me still. And I'm not them. And that's a great thing, is to be celebrated. Our differences make us unique and add that variety to our lives. Those are good things. But we as individuals are unique. We are able to convey that information that is valuable that only we can offer. Stop looking at it as a failure and start looking at things as a win. You say, well, I couldn't sleep all night. You set a record with how long you could stay awake for one night. Think about it positively, guys. You'll see what a big difference that makes in just acknowledging that you're trying not to be negative and working towards that goal. It's a very, very rewarding process, and I encourage you to try it. Crystal, I think that's all I have to say. Where can everybody find you?
Everybody can find me at Simply Me on YouTube, Crystal Morency on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and Dino.
Guys, you can find Dino the Genetic Marvel on Facebook. I have a fan page. YouTube, I have a channel. Instagram, I try and post stuff. I link it up to the Morning Motivational Rant Instagram as well, which is where we do the announcements and we throw out some funny tweets to keep everyone entertained. Ha 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 ha. As well, guys, Morning Motivational Rant is not only on YouTube, as I said, we're available on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. And as well, we have the Instagram and we have a Facebook fan page where we put updates, and we're going to put some of the stuff that maybe we can do a poll, do a couple of those little intro thingies, and we can have people decide what should we do. Okay? But guys, listen, stay motivated. And
yes, we're going to. We're going to get Dino's guy to do it, and I'm going to do it.
No.
And then we're going to see which ones the audience likes.
No way. We're just both going to do them.
And we're not going to tell them which is which, so that way there's no biased
It's a
opinion.
horrible idea.
And then we're just
Anyways,
gonna.
guys.
No, it's a fantastic idea.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
See you later. Bye.